Goldeneye 007 for the Nintendo 64 is one of the most popular games ever for the Nintendo 64. So many people loved the game. I thoroughly enjoyed it back in 1997 like so many others did. Playing multiplayer with friends was a freaking blast. You know, having a little deathmatch action going on. All the different characters you could play as. Pierce Brosnan as 007 in the game. It was an amazing time. Does the game still hold up to today? I'd argue it does, but some people will say, like, you know, the controller from that time, not so much, you know, especially if you're more accustomed to, you know, controllers after the Nintendo 64. But it's still a good game. I go back to it occasionally. But, you know, people, they wanted more. They wanted more Goldeneye 007. They were really hoping that we would get a remake of that exact game. And back in 2008, it was leaked that there was a canceled Xbox 360 remake of that Nintendo 64 game. And it was, you know, leaked out there. People could play it and whatnot. And it was supposed to be, you know, where you could cycle through like the old graphics, some, you know, updated graphics, that kind of thing. It's essentially the same game. And it was unfortunate it didn't come out. I heard there were like rumors at the time, some people who were on the inside that said it was just the complications of the you know, rights behind it, with so many people involved, the rights holder of 007, you know, James Bond, the actor, the whole movie thing, Microsoft Rare, Nintendo supposedly, you know, there's a piece with Nintendo as well, with the partnership with Rare back in the day for the game. I don't know. It just sounded like it was a huge mess and they just could not make it happen. Now, I think some people forget that there were a couple other GoldenEye 007 games that came out that were essentially remakes of that original game, but instead of Pierce Brosnan, you had Daniel Craig instead. For the Nintendo Wii in 2010, you got GoldenEye 007, and then I believe the year after, around the same time, for the PS3 and Xbox 360, you got GoldenEye 007 Reloaded, you know, updated graphics and whatnot, same story, but a lot more stuff added to it. You still had the multiplayer and all that good stuff, but that's not enough. People wanted that original Nintendo 64 experience, right? And I'm just like, well, if you want the original Nintendo 64 experience, just play it on Nintendo 64. But not everybody wants to go out and get, you know, retro hardware. You can emulate it, right? But people, they want it on a current console. Use these, you know, newer controllers, have online multiplayer and all that good stuff. Well, it turns out just recently it leaked on True Achievements and a couple other places. GoldenEye 007 achievements for the Xbox have been exposed here. And it shows that there's 2 tracked gamers with these achievements unlocked. And if you look at the little thumbnail, it's kind of hard to actually bring them up. It looks like the Nintendo 64 game. Some people might think, it's probably going to be the, you know, reloaded version from the Xbox 360, but that's not what it looks like here. And I'm hoping that it is the Nintendo 64 game and people could just be happy, get this. Maybe it'll be on Game Pass. I don't know. But it would definitely be cool if Rare and everybody worked this out and they got the Nintendo 64 version with updated graphics. Now, is it going to be Daniel Craig, Nintendo 64 style? That'd be kind of cool if they did it that way, where I would hope Pierce Brosnan is, you know, Bond in the game. But if they use Daniel Craig, it'd be cool if they had him stylized in Nintendo 64 graphics, and you can maybe switch between different Bonds, you know, Pierce Brosnan or him, whoever you want to use, type of thing. That would be pretty cool if they add that, you know. But there is some speculation I started seeing out there. People are like, hey, like, this might not be the Nintendo 64 game. But then if you go to exophase.com, they have the little thumbnail here saying that it's for Xbox One GoldenEye 007. That looks like Pierce Brosnan to me. So we'll just have to wait and find out. They have all the achievements here. Run, you complete a dam on any difficulty. I mean, these are levels from the Nintendo 64 game, right? These little thumbnails kind of, you know, speak to that. I'll put a link in the description so you could look at these more closely if you want. But yeah, I think this will be pretty cool, especially if you have some online multiplayer, relive these old school matches, Nintendo 64 style. Some people hate that controller. I'm fine with it. But yeah, it's kind of hard to, you know, to get together a lot of times. If you want to relive that, get your buddies together and play some, 007 on the Nintendo 64, some multiplayer. It's not the most difficult task to do, but some people have a hard time getting people together, So having an online enabled, hopefully it's online, I would imagine it would be, version of that game on the Xbox, that would be pretty cool, man. That'd be pretty cool. So, I mean, it looks like things may have been worked out between, all the rights holders. I don't know. I always hear the thing with Nintendo, like Nintendo had some say with this game, but it's like it's a Bond game. It was made by Rare. I know they were a second party developer at the time, but it's like, did Nintendo own this game? I mean, I guess I have to look more into it. I don't think so, but maybe there was some kind of exclusive deal for that specific version type of thing, and maybe Nintendo had to sign off on it, and maybe them working with, Microsoft trying to be, buddy, like, hey, Banjo-Kazooie, that kind of thing, and maybe some other Rare franchises. Like, give us Blast Core, for the Nintendo 64, remake that. I wish, like, it's not that I wish Microsoft didn't, have Rare, but it's like I kind of wish, like, they could, like, hey, let's make some games, that were on the Nintendo 64, like Blast Core and a few other things. I know they did Killer Instinct and all that, but like maybe bring some stuff to the Switch and Nintendo 64 online stuff. I don't know. Maybe we'll get 007 for the Switch Online with online multiplayer. Maybe, and then people will be like, oh, I'm happy paying the extra money every year for the Switch Online expanded service or expansion pack, whatever it's called. But yeah, we'll have to wait and see if anything comes of that. I mean, I'm a Nintendo fan, but I'm also an Xbox fan and a Sony fan. Like, I have all the systems and I love them. I do play my Switch a bit more, and then I think the Xbox and then the PlayStation. It just all depends, man. Just depends on what's going on out there. But there's definitely some huge value with the Xbox, with like Game Pass and whatnot. Like, we play the Xbox all the time and play Sony, for specific games and whatnot. But like, there's no denying the popularity of the Switch. So I would definitely think it would be cool if this came to the Switch Online service as well. I mean, I've said it plenty of times, Switch Online service, the games that you get access to, I wish they would just sell them to us so I could own them in a sense and not like have to worry about, well, I don't really have these. It's like they're lending them to me. Like, give us a Rare collection for the Switch. Like, Microsoft, Nintendo, you guys need to work out some kind of deal, right? I think that would be pretty cool. We'll have to wait and see. Let me know what you guys think. Are you excited for this? Who knows when it's coming out, but it looks like it is coming out for the Xbox. Appreciate every single one of you guys coming and hanging out with me today. I'm going to get back to work on my other video. Catch you next time. Bye.